Hi everyone, my name is Alicia and I will be presenting alongside my classmates Nozier, Dante, and Tatiana. We are group one and we'll be discussing the journal article about how older adults experience intergenerational relationships. We will discuss the benefits of intergenerational interaction between grandparent and grandchild or children and the importance of the building blocks in communication and connection older adults have with the younger generation. The participants of the study conducted were 316 older adults between the ages of 65 to 102. The procedure is of those who kept in regular contact with their grandchildren. The study's strengths are the new beliefs and relationships between older adults and grandchildren. The study limitations are the participants who volunteered are only from 3 nationalities, which means we cannot combine a generalization for other nationalities. Issues related to diversity. Issues related to diversity are issues related to gender and age, as well as socio-cultural perspectives, the sub-themes of affection and reward, and communication and growth. I also put down Erickson's stages of psychosocial development because this could be used to understand the intergenerational relationships. This development structure plays an important role in the development of relationships and growth between a grandchild and grandparent.
Hi everyone, I'm Dante. So I'll be going over some of the themes that were discussed in the study. And so throughout the study, there's multiple themes brought about which press upon the different aspects of intergenerational relationships, some positive, some conflictual. One of these themes was affection and reward. And participants from the study verbalized that when they received affection from family members, they felt happier and more rewarded. In addition, all 3 nationalities had made apparent that affection and reward was the most frequent sub-theme. And a participant, Maria, stated that when they moved to Portugal, they were initially afraid of the distance would be too much to handle, but as they started addressing these fears with their family members, they felt loved and cherished. For the theme of interest and integration, all 3 nationalities had mutually verbalized that this theme was the second most frequent subtheme in regards to their intergenerational relationships. In addition, these participants stated that they were more likely to give support to their grandchildren when they received interest and got along with their adult children and grandchildren. On the side here, we have 2 excerpts from 2 participants. Isabel stated that the children's interest contributed greatly to the embeddedness of their family. And Rita had stated that because she treats her grandchildren well, they treat her well too, and that no one should impose. And for the theme of grandparent-grandchild interaction quality, English participants actually reported the highest of having a positive intergenerational relationship quality with their grandchildren. This interaction quality can be seen as having close bonds or being able to have open communication with their grandkids. And again, the same participant, Maria, gave an excerpt that on the phone, she was able to express the quality of her relationship with her grandson, Justin. And he told her how much he loved spending time with her. And she said, as a grandma, this was the high point of her week.
Hi, my name is Nozier, and we're doing the themes conflictual. For the theme of privacy and defining boundaries, the majority of responders stated that they had experienced conflicts in relationship to defining limits and setting boundaries towards their grandchildren. Out of the 3 nationalities, German participants reported said themes the most, though the majority of all responders had reported that setting limits on their grandchildren was a requisite for continuing their relationship. Furthermore, the majority of the study's participants instilled that the respect for their decisions, confidentiality, and recognition of boundaries by their children contributed to the better relationship with grandchildren. A quote from participant named Fred said that the child has to comply with the rules of our house, and the reason why is to prevent them from hurting themselves and to teach them how to behave. We must guide them all the time. And for the theme of provision of support, the most of the responders have experienced conflict in the family relationships by describing their experience in showing support towards their grandchildren. Most of the participants who reported on this were Portuguese participants. Even though Portuguese participants show love and support towards their grandchildren, they also have said that it is very tiring for them and takes a toll on their health. A quote from Chris, a participant, said that I would love to go away for 6 months on a long, long vacation. I would like to have a time for myself, but sometimes I feel so tired from grandparent responsibilities that I just want to go to sleep. And the third theme, obligation and providing, childcare responsibility. Respondents experience confliction when being obliged to provide care for their grandchildren. Eventually, the Portuguese group reported the highest amount of this conflict due to reasons such as moral obligation, cultural expectations, and economic reasons. A quote from a participant named Paul said that I think there is a moral obligation to help your children, yet I also feel that it is unfair. Sometimes I'm not in a good mood and I do not feel like being with my grandchildren. Why should I be? But in the end, I cannot say no and I always take care of them. And to wrap everything up, in conclusion, the intergenerational relationships include generations with the family circle, such as grandparents, parents, and children. The study focused on the integrational relationship of older adults as it is central to them since these relationships have a huge impact on well-being, quality of life, and self-perceived value associated with aging. For example, past studies have shown that grandparents who reported good mental health and strong social support from friends, peers, and neighbors, and positive relationship with other grandchildren. The study focuses on qualitative data collected from in-depth interview to address their perspectives on intergenerational relationships with grandchildren. The participants identified two types of intergenerational relationship with their grandchildren, with a supportive and conflictual. The positive support was divided into three major sub-themes, such as affection toward and reward, interest and integration, and grandparent-grandchild interaction quality. The three themes for conceptualizing conflict were privacy and definition of boundaries, provision of support, and obligation of providing children. The study indicated that affection or reward were the repeated subthemes of supportive relationship. Overall, participants found greater affection and reward to help the great children with whom they get along well. Past and present both fall into the hands of the future. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for listening.